The government shut down, federal workers are missing paychecks, vital services go unfunded. And yet, Donald Trump just found $40 billion. Not for any of that stuff, though, for his buddy Javier Milei in Argentina. Let's break it down in this edition of the Unpopulist's Executive Watch Abuse of the Week. Last week, Trump's Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent finalized a $20 billion bailout of Argentina's collapsing currency, alongside another $20 billion from private investors he helped organize. The deal, using an emergency pot of money at the Treasury Department rather than coming from Congress, already comes after Argentina received another $20 billion from the IMF in an attempt to stabilize the value of the peso. And while Trump and his team pitch the bailout as a strategic action in standing behind our Latin American ally, the real purpose looks at times oddly personal, and most of the time, completely reckless. Multiple sources confirmed to the New York Times that, in the lead up to the bailout announcement, Secretary Bessent was in close contact with founder of Discovery Capital Management and his old hedge fund colleague, Robert Citrone. Citrone had been warning Bessent about the dangers of an Argentinian currency collapse, citing the risk of Argentina turning to China for investment and the disintegration of President Javier Milei's political support. But what sounds like strategic consulting reeks of lobbying for personal favors. Citrone's firm holds a massive stake in Argentina's bonds and stock index. When the US announced its lifeline, those investments soared. Billions in potential losses, including those of Citrone's, evaporated, underwritten by the American public. But for Bessent, this kind of risk is par for the course. As a career speculator, he has simply brought the logic of the trading floor into the US Treasury. Bloomberg's Jonathan Levin described Bessent as having overseen what is effectively a hedge fund trade executed with public money. While Americans at home face uncertainty and unpaid bills, Trump and his cronies are gambling their tax dollars to prop up one of Trump's loudest foreign admirers in the middle of a shutdown that has frozen domestic relief programs and disabled federal oversight. It's just more evidence that Trump isn't guided by principle, ideology, or even policy, only by profit and ego. When funding funnels him power, he's happy to foot the bill. When it doesn't, he shuts it down. Trump promised America first, but every action reveals the truth. He always puts himself first. That's your Executive Watch Abuse of the Week. For every single update, subscribe for free at theunpopulist.net.